With us now, NewsNation political contributor Denise Gitsham. She is a Republican strategist, also served as an aide to President George Bush. Good morning to you, and thank you. Having Turning Point's involvement and looking to primary some Republicans who don't support the redistricting, how does this influence this discussion?
Well, some people will be scared of Turning Point's power, but ultimately winning in politics requires addition, not subtraction. So turning friends, people who agree with you, into enemies isn't a winning strategy in the near or the long term. So giving into that sort of bullying is really just exposes the weakness of the candidates that would be willing to cower in the face of what Turning Point is demanding them to do. And I support, and I think most Americans support, those electing people who actually adhere to principle over partisanship. I just think that everything about this redistricting snafu, all of this nonsense, it's just so wrong. And anyone who isn't blindly partisan understands that and feels that viscerally.
I want to understand all the arguments around redistricting, and it's been here for a long time. It's not going anywhere. But those Republicans who are resisting the plan in their state, what's your understanding as to their concerns?
Well, I just think that there's right and there's wrong. And just because the other side doesn't make it right for your side to do it. You know, no amount of finger pointing at the other side makes partisan redistricting and excluding people from Democratic, basically participation and also representation makes it right. It's a Pyrrhic victory, even if you win, because it erodes faith in the fairness and ultimately the moral principles that our nation was built on. You know, this is and you can point, look, as a Republican, this is actually very telling that I would say this, because if we went through the 28 states that have Republican-led legislatures, this fight would actually benefit my party, the party I've worked to support and build for 25 years. So, but I don't agree with just blind, just bare knuckle, fight it out partisanship, because I actually believe our country stands for a lot more than that. And I'm willing to fight for those principles that our nation stands on, those principles of fairness over something that's just a raw political win.
I appreciate that. Just because you can do something doesn't always mean that you should. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Denise, I know this is just the beginning of it. Thanks as always for your thoughts.